Michelle Obama gave a speech that was like very widely praised and well received. I mean, her popularity within the Democratic Party is enormous. She went on first, then her husband Barack Obama came on, and her speech was really good. She here talks about, and I think alludes to, the birther conspiracy that Donald Trump was one of the key purveyors of when he was launching his political career. I mean, this, like, if not the guy.
I would say, like, I know people, my grandparents, were big Trump people in like 2008, 2009, because of the amount of emails this guy was using to saying, like, this birth certificates thing, I don't know about this Obama guy.
Yep.
And then we need to, and also it was like, oh, he's a businessman too, so he can be real respectable. But he trafficked, absolutely, he kept that thing alive. So much that it was a liability for Romney in 2012 to be seen like courting him because of how much of a birther Donald Trump was.
Right. And it was, I mean, like the subject of Republican memes. It was basically, I think, one of the major planks of the racist backlash against Obama's win in 2008 that also saw the Democrats lose 1,000 seats across the country in the 2010 midterms, and like killing the rest of the Democrats' agenda for the rest of his presidency. So this was key to the like intense racist backlash against Obama's election, and Trump peddled it, and it catapulted him to victory in 2016. So naturally, the Obamas have resentment about this conspiracy theory that Obama was secretly born in Kenya because it was just, it was just racism. And here Michelle Obama alludes to it, and what's just insane is that it seems like some Republicans on Fox News are trying to revive it.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
Trump also, I will say, peddled conspiracy theories about Michelle Obama being a man. That's another right-wing Facebook dad meme that this like movement gave oxygen to. Just rank racism. And and
a lot of this stuff went under the radar because it actually wasn't Facebook but email chains, and which was a lot less visible but a lot more rancid.
Exactly. It's a great point. And you even see in like recently the Imani Khalif controversy where a bunch of psychos like Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling, who are now thankfully maybe facing some legal liabilities.
Hit the delete button.
And J.K. Rowling just deleted a bunch of tweets, but this is like but you can just see how people, women who are not white, even if they're cis women, are either are dehumanized or their femininity is called into question by right wingers as a way to attack them in a racist manner, and how notions of gender and sexuality and race are all interconnected in who gets to be deemed a real woman and who isn't. So the Obamas dealt with a ton of this stuff from the Republican Party. And now Jesse Waters, who has fashioned his entire career basically on Bill O'Reilly, also who peddled the birther conspiracy theory, has decided now's the time to bring it back. Here he was on the 5 yesterday.
Weird vibe going on. I can't figure it out. But I will tell you this, Greg. Barack Obama, still the godfather of this machine. He gave us Joe Biden as VP. He gave us Hillary as Secretary of State. Then he cooed Joe, put all his boys with Kamala's team, and had his wingman Holder vet Waltz. Now, The guy's a young 63. He's going to be doing this for the next 25 years. He's definitely going to interfere in this election. That's why we'll be sending Johnny to Hawaii to get the truth about the birth certificate. This time we will dig deep and find out what really happened.
Good point. You should tell Johnny that he needs to get a passport.
To go to Kenya. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
No, I meant to Hawaii just to see him do it.
Yeah. Got it.
Ask him what the exchange rate is for the Hawaiian dollar. All right. Ahead.
Okay.
Did anyone notice Dana Perino's face? She like, they let him go off, obviously, because he's in the primetime slot, but they're very much like, oh my God, we have to be on screen while he does this. Because Waters loves to do the line towing thing of like, I'm joking. But then literally saying we need to send somebody to investigate whether Barack Obama was actually born in Hawaii.
Obama was forced, because of this insanity, to release his long-form birth certificate, which unequivocally showed that he was born in Hawaii. There was also a newspaper clipping at that time. That
from the day he was born. So the conspiracy would have to have, not wanted to, follow, it would have... In order to think like a birth certificate or anything would reveal the truth here, you would have to think that they wouldn't cover that part of the conspiracy, but they would make sure that the local newspaper pretends that a kid was born under that name in Hawaii
yes.
on that day, so they can later set him up to be president.
That his Kenyan father and his Kansas-born mother would have had to, in utero, decide both that they were going to be fraudulent about this and that their unborn child was the Manchurian candidate to bring Kenyan socialism. They would have to have made that decision and collaborated with the doctors, the hospital, the local newspaper to make that happen. That is called playing the long game.
It's as if Obama was like Millie Bobby Brown's character in Stranger Things.
Right.
Like a lab-grown, superhuman, designed to take over the world from day one of his existence.
And it's just difficult for them to fearmonger about this when this already happened. He was president for 2 terms and none of this came to fruition. So we're now going to go back in time and say, this is when Obama's going to be really scary. Not when he's most visible to you as the president of the United States, when he's now, a retired guy who's basically just doing Netflix documentary specials with his time instead of engaging in politics. An issue I have with the Obamas, for example, although when they do engage, it's apparently trying to get Josh Shapiro to be the VP or whatever.
You know what? This Machiavellian operator that interferes in elections, Barack Obama. You know what would have been nice if he put somebody on the fucking Supreme Court when Scalia died.
Yes,
that would have been great. Instead of all this second order machinations as the judiciary gets stacked with more and more young Earth creationists and corporate lobbyists.
If they wanted to have a serious conversation about Obama's continued influence on the party, did they decide to litigate what happened in 2020 when all of a sudden all of the non-Biden candidates and non-Bernie candidates withdrew from the primary to coalesce around
He kind of mentioned that,
Joe Biden. He did.
That's part
but
of
they
the
don't
Obama.
Care.
Yeah, no, they
it's like when they say this is a coup, Kamala Harris being the nominee against Joe Biden, and you see the polling for Democrats, and it's like 80%, 90% of Democrats are satisfied or happy that Kamala Harris took over. Those are the people you're supposedly saying got screwed over, and they're basically saying, okay, we're happy with it. So what is the political salience of it?
Yeah, this is not, anything theoretically rigorous, but I think a good shorthand for whether something is a coup or a revolution is it popular?
But it's also interesting. It's also interesting that in the way of the 2020 primary, but also any of the angling of Vivek Ramaswamy even 2 weeks ago was like, I think Michelle Obama is going to replace Harris at the convention,
right? And
that there's always every election cycle there's something about how the Obama cabal is sort of going to influence things. I think the presumption is that it's always going to be in a markedly, dramatically leftward shift. The 2020 angling was literally to not make it so that Bernie Sanders had enough juice to keep going. That was explicitly to keep the party in the center.
Right.
It is even the stuff that was actually sort of influenced by them. I think it borne out
to drag the party to the right.
It was literally the opposite way.
Yeah. Mama Mama Philosophiles says they can grow Obama in a lab to take over the world, but they can't forge a birth certificate. Basically,
exactly. Like it's so funny. Like the things that that's always the way with these really dumb conspiracies. It's like if they could have. If they can plant something in the Hawaiian news, it's like maybe there's other things they could have done too with maybe the government.
It reminds me of how, like in Star Wars, they they can go from planet to planet within a matter of minutes, but they don't have like a satellite system to detect when a ship is going to come down and attack them.
Our technology is so futuristic, but like we don't have like cell phones or like
Harry Potter.
walkie-talkies.
They can do like Harry Potter. They can transport from different locations, but they have to send owls to communicate with one another.
They need a flying car or like something, with the Weasleys and stuff.
And you know why that happens in fiction? It's because it's called magical thinking. Republicans, engage in reality, please.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.